Welcome to section 1 of this course, HSE 1 recap. So the idea of this particular section and why I'm starting with this section is because it's important that you have some sort of foundational knowledge of health, safety and environment before starting this basic course. So we looked through some of these concepts in our HSE level 1 course. If you've not gone through that course and you don't have some basic or background knowledge in health, safety and environment or experience in that area, you may want to go back and look for that course on this platform and take our HSE level 1, that's HSE Health, Safety and Environment Essentials. However, if you have the knowledge or experience, then you can just go ahead and continue with me on this HSE level 2. But that being said, I'm still going to go through some of those concepts, but just a high level, just an overview of the things that were discussed in HSE level 1. They include discussions on safety paradigm, HSE principles, HSE regulations, as well as risk assessment. So I'll start my discussion in this section with some clarification on some of the acronyms we see used across the globe, whether in organizations or in books or on sites and just generally around the globe for discussions and departments as far as HSE is concerned. So you see some people use OSH or OHS, that's Occupational Safety and Health, Occupational Health and Safety. You see some people use HSE, Health, Safety and Environment, or EHS, just turning the terms, in different formats. Some go ahead and use SHEQ, that's adding quality to it. Some decide to add security and safety and environment and quality. Now, the interesting thing is that all of these depends on, in some instances, it depends on the country or the jurisdiction. Some countries are more familiar with the use of OSH, some use SHE, some use EHS, it depends. But all of these terminologies essentially are related, and I'm going to try and just explain that quickly to us. Now, you find usually the term occupational safety and health used together, and that's because health and safety can actually be viewed oftentimes as a single element, as these two disciplines encompass the same procedures, legislation and processes. And essentially, safety and health, when it comes to occupational safety and health, is essentially focused on the worker, and we explain that in level 1. It's focused on the worker. So you find safety and health, occupational safety and health, as one whole, and the legislation, the procedures, the processes that govern them within an organization, even, like I said, the regulations sort of govern them together. So you always will find those two together, and because the focus is on the worker, the human. Now, the second or the third element that you usually would find, that is the environment, health, safety and environment, that is often lumped together with occupational safety and health, or safety and health, is environment. And environment legislations that govern environmental management and all of that are in a way a little bit different from those of safety and health. Why? Because the environment is focused on the flora, primarily on flora and fauna, even though it ultimately impacts on people, but the way it is managed and the procedures and all of that differ. However, for occupational safety and health as well as environment, you find that the the philosophy and the approach and the thinking to manage all of this usually are aligned. And that's why you'd find in organizations that you find HSC departments or EHS, or SHE departments being in one place and being managed by probably the same set of people or the same set of competencies. And so that's why you would find that even in some organizations, they decide to add security to it because of the feeling that security also is quite related, because it also deals with the protection of the worker, and some may add quality to it in some instances, even though quality focuses more on the output of the business. But because some of the procedures and some of the concepts that you use in managing safety and health, as well as quality and environment, actually align. So some organizations may feel the need to lump all of these areas of knowledge or areas of business management together. At the basic level, however, occupational safety and health, that is safety and health, are the two areas that are very closely related. Legislation for them align, and even certifications and all of that across the globe for them align. And then the one that aligns very much to them again is environment. But in this course, our focus will be on occupational safety and health, and to a lesser extent, environment. And I just thought I should clarify that, and I hope that gives us some sense of why you see some of these terminologies used interchangeably across the globe.